I'm Amanda Daniels, Director of Business Development for Chief Facility Defense, the parent company for Chief Fire Protection Company and Chief Electric LLC. Today you're going to see a video tutorial of your fire and life safety systems brought to you by your property management company, CMA.
Hello, my name is Cody Ivey. I am the field supervisor of the low voltage department at Chief Electric, and I'm here to tell you about your fire panel. So as always, I do have to tell you that if there is a case of an emergency where there is a fire alarm going off in the building, my request is that you get everybody out of the building as soon as possible and you wait on the fire department to arrive and be ready to answer any questions that the fire department might have for you. Now let's say that you have a false alarm in the building and you know that it is a false alarm and you can silence the system. First thing that you need to do is locate your fire alarm control panel. This is located next to the management offices in your building. Come in here and you'll be met with the screen of your notifier panel here. Whenever you get to the system, you can see where it says that there's a fire alarm active. You will have a red fire alarm light blinking, and then it will tell you where the fire alarm is activated at, whether that be a smoke detector or a pull station that somebody might have pulled by accident. If that is the case and you know that it is a false alarm, you can hit the acknowledge button that is on the top right hand side, and then the signal silence button, and then you can try to do a system reset. Now if for some reason there is a smoke detector that might have gotten some debris in it, maybe got dirty, you will need to locate that smoke detector to clean it or spray it out with air and then try to reset the panel, and that'll clear the system of its fire alarm. Now let's say that you have a trouble on the system. The panel will beep, but no horns and strobes will go off. If the panel is beeping because of a trouble, you will see the trouble indicator light on the left hand side, and the panel will tell you what the problem is. You can come and locate the acknowledge button, hit that button firmly, and it will silence the panel from its beeping. You can then look at the trouble on the system and then give us a call, and we will have a technician out shortly to look into the problem for you. On your sprinkler system, you do have tamper switch valves. You also have a few things part of the fire alarm system that will notify a supervisory signal. This is a signal that can go and come and go on the occasion depending on what's going on in the building. So if you do happen to have a supervisory signal, it will show you using an amber light on the left hand side, and it will also indicate on the screen what that supervisory signal is. You need to locate that supervisory to make sure that nobody is just tampering with the sprinkler system or anything like that. If you are in the need of bypassing the system, maybe you have a maintenance tech on site that needs to work on the system or needs to do construction work or anything like that, you don't want the system going off, you can locate the fire system, and down here on the bottom right hand side switches, you'll notice it says AV bypass, elevator bypass, HVAC bypass, stairwell bypass, and door holder. The door holder is a bypass, so whenever you are doing this, most of the time you will only need to use the AV bypass, and that stands for audio visual bypass. So if you do not want the horns and strobes going off, you will need to call ahead to our monitoring station, let them know how long you need to put the system in test, and go ahead and bypass whichever ones of the key buttons that you will need to use. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Michael Driver. I'm here with Chief Fire Protection, Field Supervisor. Here to go over your fire and life safety devices today. Right behind me is the fire pump controller. In any case you would need to kill power to the fire pump, you would first turn off the emergency power and then the main power. To turn the pump back on, do it the opposite direction. You would turn on the main power, then turn on the emergency second, and everyone is labeled accordingly. Your building utilizes an electrically driven fire pump due to lack of either volume or pressure from the city water supply, and is currently maintained by Chief Fire Protection, located down here in the basement room of your building. In the event that the fire pump is ever running, go to the alarm panel, see where the alarm is coming in at, check the floor, make sure there is no fire, no emergency. And if the water is dumping out into the floor in a no-flow situation, if there's not a sprinkler head that's going off, a pipe that is burst, the casing relief line will dump the excess water into the floor drain to keep the pump cool. And in a situation where there was a damaged sprinkler head, either hit by ladders, vehicles, whatever it may be, this is the shutoff. Again, in a non-emergency situation, you want to turn this valve clockwise. Make sure you do it carefully and slowly. You don't want to cause a water hammer that could damage the pipe, bust a coupling, or create any more damage. This is your jockey pump. It acts as a compressor to stabilize the pressure for the pump. So if it is kicking on and off day to day, that's completely normal. It is doing its job. If there's ever a sprinkler head that is busted due to the fire, an emergency, or if one has just been damaged, the jockey pump will kick off, so the fire pump will do what it's supposed to do and send water through the system. Here we have your two dry systems. They feed the parking deck. They're also located in the same room as the pump here in the basement. The dry systems have air in the pipes instead of water due to freezing temperatures causing water to freeze in the pipes and burst either the couplings or the pipes, or cause a head to go off prematurely. If that's ever the case and you need to shut the water off to the dry systems, there's control valves right here at the bottom. You can turn them clockwise to shut the water supply off, and you have to call Chief Fire Protection. We will come out and reset your system. On each floor in the stairwells, you're going to have a control valve and a drain and a fire department connection. In the case that a head ever goes off in a non-emergency situation, you want to immediately close the water supply valve right here, and they're all labeled, and open up the drain to drain all the excess water to protect the rest of the building.